Hi, welcome to today's gentle flow. For today's practice, all you need is a little space to move, and we're gonna get started in an easy seat. So just whichever leg you prefer in front, hands can rest on your knees here. Maybe give your eyes a moment to soften or close. Just noticing that natural rhythm of our breath. Reminding ourselves here with these gentle flows, encourage yourself to move slowly. Take your time, not rushing the process at all. Can use your next inhale to lift both arms to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes outside of right knee. Right hand props up behind you. Just a gentle twist here, not forcing or cranking anything. Keeping the spine long, crown of the head lifted. Then as you're ready, bring right arm overhead, keeping that left hand anchored, a bit of a side stretch twist variation. Breathe here, feeling that space along the right side of the body. And then gently unwind. Other side, inhale, fingertips lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand latches outside of that knee. Left hand props up behind you. Keeping your spine long. Twist here comes from the shoulders and that upper back area, not forcing or cranking the neck. Next round of breath, left arm comes overhead. Again, right hand stays anchored. Breathe here. Feeling that space between the ribs on the left side of the body. And as you're ready, return back to center. Rolling over your ankles here. Make your way to a tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Few cat-cows here. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale to round the spine. Now give yourself a few rounds working at your pace of breath. I also encourage you here to add in any movement that feels good. This is a great time in your practice just to get a little funky with it. Anything that feels good to warm up the spine works really well right here. When you've completed your next round, we'll meet in a neutral tabletop. And then keeping your knees where they are, your hips where they are, start to walk your hands forward, taking a melting heart or a puppy pose, starting to encourage your chest towards the mat. Maybe your forehead can rest on the mat. Maybe your chin if that feels good for you. Again, just bringing some openness to that front part of our body, keeping our hips stacked over our knees as much as is available in your body. Breathe here. Using your next round of breath, take your time, walk your hands back in once more under those shoulders. Then walk your hands forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes and lift your hip for downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, pause here. Reach the crown of your head forward. Sit bones reach back, creating almost an upside down L shape with our body. Squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana or upward salute, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Maybe a little back bend, only if it feels good. Exhale, fold all the way through. Inhale, half lift, flat back once more. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands and then make your way back to a tabletop, either on toes or knees, wherever you feel stronger. Inhale, puff up the back of your heart. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untucking your toes, taking your feet a little wider. Lift your heart for cobra. Just as high as feels good. Elbows stay tucked in. Full round of breath here. Next, exhale, lower down. Press back up to a plank position. Inhale in plank. Hips up and back, down dog. Few rounds of breath here. Maybe you pedal out your down dog. Maybe you play with shifting your hips back and forth or pressing your chest towards your thighs. Or if stillness feels good, hang right there. Heels reach towards the mat. They don't have to touch it. Hips reach towards the sky. Of course, they don't have to touch it either. Next, inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Back foot in and out at 45 degrees for warrior one. Fingertips lift. I like to take a nice wide base here. Both of my feet are almost to the edge of my mat. Feeling that stability. Generous bend in the front knee, pressing into the blade edge and heel of that back foot. Hands come to the mat. Step back to your plank position. Inhale in plank. Hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, step it between the hands. Back foot in and out at 45 degrees. Lifting to warrior one on this side. Once again, take time here. Feel your base. Make adjustments as you need to. One of my favorite part of these slower flows, taking time to feel the pose for you. Then hands come back to the mat. Step back to your plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale for the mat. Untuck your toes, lift your heart for cobra. Exhale back to the mat. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to chair, hips sink down, fingertips lift. Full round of breath here. Weight is in your heels. You might even play with picking up all your toes, looking down, making sure you can still see your toes over your knees. Then hands come to heart center, straighten your legs for Tadasana. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way through Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, right foot outside of right hand, pausing in this lizard shape. Now in some bodies, it's available to go down to your forearms here. If that's your body, go for it. That is not mine, so I'm just gonna stay up on my palms. Full round of breath here. You can play with rolling to the blade edge of that right foot and then planting the foot back to the mat. Step back to down dog. Other side, inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, step it to the outside of your left hand. Lizard pose. Again, finding what works for you here. Maybe it feels good to roll to that blade edge of your foot, opening the hip a bit. Keep the sole of the foot planted. If it's available, you can always lower down to your forearms, but no judgment if it's not. And step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Warrior one once more. So coming to 45 degrees on that back foot. Hands lift towards the sky. Then bring your hands behind low back. Interlacing your fingertips. Press your knuckles to the floor. Heart lifts to the sky. Breathe here. Now, if this feels really good, you can stay here or hinging forward for humble warrior. Right shoulder tracks to the inside of that right knee. Arms start to extend overhead just as far as is available in your shoulders. If this doesn't feel good, bring your hands towards your low back to lessen the sensation. If you want to increase it, encourage your hands forward towards the top of the mat. Give yourself a full round of breath. And then release your hands, sweeping down towards the mat, back up to warrior one. Hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, step it between the hands. Warrior one on the other side. Back foot in and out at 45 degrees. Fingertips lift. Feel your base here. Find that stability. Hands come behind low back. Maybe opposite thumb on top this time. Knuckles press towards the floor. Heart lifts towards the sky. Gaze lifts towards the sky. Breathe here. You're welcome to stay right here, opening that front part of the chest, or hinge forward, humble warrior. Left shoulder tracks to the inside of that left knee. Arms extend overhead, just as far as feels good in your shoulders. Again, never forcing or cranking. There's no yoga pose that's worth that injury. Can always lessen the sensation by bringing hands towards low back. Full breath here. Then releasing that grip, hands sweep towards the mat. Fingertips lift. Hands back to the mat. Step back to down dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach tall, tallest you've been today. Exhale, hands come to cactus. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, elbows pull down, heart lifts up. Inhale, reach tall once more. Draw your hands to heart center. Now taking your feet a bit wider here, we'll sink down for Malasana. So heels might be on the mat, toes may be splayed off. Sinking down, hips coming just as low as feels good for you. Once you find your edge, seat finds the mat. Feet come together for seated star. Breathe here. Lengthen your spine. Hands can rest on your ankles or toes. Hinge forward. Then allow your head to hang heavy. Spine rounds. Give ourselves 3 full rounds of breath here. When you're ready, start to lift out of that shape. Then we'll pause here for a moment, extending both legs long in front of you. Bring right knee in towards the chest. Then right foot plants outside of that left leg. Left arm wraps around. Right hand behind you. Lord of the Fishes variation on this side. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, pull that right shoulder back a tiny bit, deepening the twist. But again, allowing it to come from that spine, rather I should say from that upper part of your back, rather than cranking your neck. Next breath, release, both legs extend long. Left foot bends in, left foot outside of right leg, right hand wraps around, left hand behind you. Half Lord of the Fishes on this side. Again, focusing here on keeping that crown of the head reaching towards the sky, helping to lengthen the spine. And then finding the twist that feels good for you. Right arm keeps hugging that knee in towards your chest. And then unwind. Both legs extend long. Soles of the feet can come to the mat, shifting down to a reclined position. Head, shoulders, hips, all supported by the mat here. If it feels good, you can take a happy baby, or we can pull knees to your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins, a nice little yogi hug. Forehead hugs up to your knees. Squeeze into a tight ball. And then extend into Shavasana. Legs extend long, arms resting down by your hips. Allow yourself to be heavy here. Allow yourself to take up space here. Imagining that each breath allows you to relax a little deeper into this pose. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you're more than welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, bring in some gentle movement like wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe you take a nice good morning stretch, fingertips overhead, toes opposite direction. And then guide yourself to a fetal position on either side before you press up to a comfortable seat. Giving yourself a moment here, giving yourself time to move slowly. Allow yourself to feel some gratitude. Showed up today, honored your body with movement and with rest. Reminding yourself of that importance. We'll close with a collective breath. Can inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a lovely day.